Bigger Talks IG Live edition podcast interview with Whitney Eckis, serial entrepreneur, business owner, and digital marketer. She's going to be here soon. We're going to talk. We're going to chat. She has a new product out. Get Super. Hopefully I said that right. Instant coffee. We're going to talk about business, entrepreneurship, anxiety, and just life and business itself. Pretty stoked and happy for this interview. I don't know. I just got like a wave or energy that came through just now. So we're going to see when we get her on. Stay tuned. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good, Eric. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
I just literally just finished meditating, and after I got up, I got like this sharp, just crazy energy that just came through. Like, yo, I don't know what this is in store today for you and I in this podcast, but I'm excited. I'm happy for you to be here. Shouts out to you launching your new brand and your instant coffee. Is it Get Super or Get Sup? Did I say it right?
Yeah, it's Get Super. We just removed the E.
Get Super. Well, everyone, this is Whitney Eckis. I said that right, correctly?
Yeah?
Yes.
You're nailing the pronunciation today.
She's a serial entrepreneur, business owner. She's great in the market space, marketing for companies like SoulCycle, the Marriott hotels, and a lot of digital brands as well and products. So thank you for being here. Welcome to Bigger Talks. We're going to have a bigger talk conversation about life and all things in your new, instant coffee. But to people who don't know you, can you just give us like a brief description of who you are and your intentions and who you are just in general in life and for yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you pretty much covered all of it, but I am a serial entrepreneur. I've been in the marketing space for the last 8 or 9 years. And more recently, I just launched our first product-based business, which is Get Super. It's an instant wellness beverage company that aims to make everyone's day a little bit more super. So we essentially look for products and supplements that help everyone's daily routine and bring them calm, focused energy.
Wow. So the supplements, so you have supplements. I didn't know that. What type of supplements? Are they just like tablets, pills?
Yeah,
do you have gummies? Do you have gummy bears?
No, everything we do will be in the form of an instant beverage. We're huge into like the stick pack game. And quite honestly, I love to travel and I'm constantly on the go. And so having these amazing little stick packs on the go just to be able to pop it into my coffee or a water bottle or things like that just really makes sense. And supplement wise, I can't say anything just yet, but we are working on our next line of products that should be launching hopefully very soon.
Oh, congrats. That's major. So what was the intentions behind you starting this coffee brand other than, people need instant energy and want to feel good and get things done? What was the turning point of the moment? You're like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Get Super really came to me kind of in like a moment of me just walking through my own mental health journey. So in 2020, I was diagnosed with severe anxiety disorder and depression. Mental health, or just kind of issues within mental health does like run in my family genetically. And so for me, it was like this huge just breakdown period. I felt really lost, and I felt like I had worked so hard and I had all this ambition, and we were walking through the pandemic and I had lost 75% of my marketing agency business just like that. And I just found myself in this really, really dark time. So because there had been a history of addiction in my family, I chose to walk through this diagnosis holistically. And what that led me to is realizing that certain things that I put into my body have a certain reaction or trigger or can cause me to have onset anxiety very quickly. So I started experimenting by putting CBD oil in my coffee every morning. And I started noticing that, hey, like caffeine's a trigger, but I love my caffeine. I want to drink 3-4 cups of coffee a day. Like I'm an entrepreneur. Like I want that nice little kick of energy, but I also can't walk through my day and be as productive if I'm all of a sudden having a full-on anxiety attack. And so there was this like, I don't want to give this up, but I want some sort of balance, and I don't want to have to feel like I'm sacrificing everything because I'm already walking through this holistically. I'm trying to really be in tune with my body. And so essentially that led us to Get Super. And instead of dropping in CBD oil, which isn't the most effective way to be doing it, we take a water soluble hemp extract and infuse it into instant coffee. And so that's the best way to see all the benefits and for the hemp to really activate, because it's activated by heat, and it's convenient. You can take it on the go. You can travel with it. You can, use it instead of your gross hotel coffee. So that's how
Yeah.
that's kind of the main story and the personal reason as to what led me to Get Super.
Well, congratulations on that journey and overcoming all those things and fears and situations. Let's take it back a bit. And so, in the mental health space from anxiety, you said it was from your family, you have a repeated history of people consistent with that,
Yeah.
right? So, correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes we hear information about things that you don't really know. So when I hear about mental health and mental illnesses, you hear that it's hereditary or is a chemical imbalance. Is that like actually true that it is some type of chemical imbalance that a person might experience when they go through severe depression or anxiety? What do you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would say that it's for sure a chemical imbalance. I mean, at least for me, and that's what I've been noticing in my body. I would also say, too, that a lot of the work that I've been doing has been a lot of mindset shifts. So it's been a lot of, my own beliefs and what I thought about myself or what I think about the world, and working through a lot of these barriers or, I call them grooves. And the reason why I call them grooves is that it's like a thought pattern. It's this thought pattern that you've constantly been walking down or going through, and it becomes almost like muscle memory. And so for me, that was something that I started noticing, was that a lot of this was just triggered because I slowed down and I started realizing the way I was thinking about myself or my life, or the way I wasn't taking care of myself. And so that too led into it. And I think there's a lot of different mixes here in terms of like how people suffer with anxiety. And obviously, I'm not a licensed professional. I just know from my firsthand testimonial. But from what I started noticing is that mine was more specifically, there was this really awful way that I was thinking. There was obviously the imbalance. There was a lot of things going on. And it just kind of washed over me all at once the moment I kind of slowed down.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for, verifying that and giving that information. Because even if as a psychiatrist of anyone in that space, you can go to school and learn something and be educated on it, but to actually go through it and have the experience is a different type of lesson and blessing, and also teaching that you can give someone who hasn't experienced that. And it's, I think you said something about slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm aware of like this year for me and most of last year, but when you slow down and your life is not normal like it was, because before the pandemic, everybody was just going to work, doing what they had to do, and everyone was moving and grooving. So if you
Sure.
have deep feelings or emotions or situations, you can just kind of like suppress it, not really think about it, because you don't have the time, you don't have the patience. You go, and then things slow down, and when things slow down, things come up, right? And
Yeah.
those things, they're looking at you like, hey, buddy, remember me from 2015? And,
That's spot on. That's so true.
like for me, what I realized, like, oh shit, like my trauma, or I have a wound here, or why am I feeling this way? Is because now those blind spots that I couldn't see, I can now see clearly, because I don't have a bunch of distraction, which is life and people in the way of me being in my body in the current moment. And I think it's imperative for people to realize and acknowledge and be aware that we all might be suffering from some type of anxiety or depression. We all might be still dealing with a past relationship or a traumatic experience that we haven't overcame or got through, or we thought we forgot about. So I'm happy to know that you're doing the work, you continue to work, and you create a brand from something that could be painful, but now you can add value to someone who needs it. And I think that's the best thing in life, is when you can find something when you're going through something that creates a better day or feeling for someone else. So that's major.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
get,
that's everything that we want to do. And I think too, like even looking back at just some of the brands that I was, kind of personally testing out on myself before moving in to Get Super, that I mean, they're inspirations to me. Like that was like one of the products I really, really enjoy is Sunday Scaries and Wings CBD. Those are both two really incredible brands, and both of the owners and entrepreneurs behind them have really wanted to make people feel better. And I think when we look at Get Super, like there's so much that I'm even more interested in besides just, the hemp and CBD aspect. Like, now we're seeing this really cool movement with adaptogens and, with just these superfoods that are coming through and that are helping, our brain, they're helping, our body to just be able to regulate normally or, to get us to feel a little bit better. So there's a lot in the mix and a lot that I am like currently, I'm experimenting with. I feel like I've become a formulator just through this whole process because I'm constantly mixing concoctions and seeing how I feel after.
you're such a experimental person or doer. What sign are you, by the way?
I'm a Sag.
Oh yeah, I felt that. I was like, because my moon sign is a Sag.
Oh, okay.
I have to do it. So my mood and emotions like a Sag. Like, let's go. What are we doing? Let's do the
Yes.
let's figure it out. Let's experience it. Okay, if it doesn't work, at least we know. But we can't think if we don't do it. We got to do it to know it, and then we can grow it, right?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. What are you?
I'm a Pisces. So
I love Pisces.
I feel it all, right?
Yeah.
Earlier, I was like, sometimes you can't control the outcome of how someone else is going to feel because you feel indifferent, right? Mm. Sometimes you got to let things be, even if it's uncomfortable for you, so you can get a perspective and a message from it. Because what people are not aware of is that it's in pain, there's perspective in pain as much as it is in the gain and success and happiness, right?
Yeah.
You learn from pain, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I was telling my friend, I was like, look, I've been that person who try to control outcomes, and I don't want a person to be this way or be that way. I want them to like me. And it's like, no. Let people be upset with you because you're human and you're going to make mistakes. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You learn, grow from it, and you become a better person because of it. But if we always live life, if we live life and we want everything to be perfect, I don't want to have a panic attack. I don't want to be scared. I always want to have it together. I always want to make the right decisions. That's not really living. You're not living because you don't experience life fully. Like if I always agree with everything everyone says, then what do I believe in?
Yeah, that's such a beautiful reminder, Eric. And I love that. And I feel like too, like that's even something like I had to walk through in 2020 is like the I mean, I guess I view it as like the people pleasing. Yeah. Like never wanting anyone to be upset with you, never wanting to mess up, never wanting to make these errors or anything like that. And it becomes like this, like you said, it becomes like you're essentially just walking on eggshells your entire life because you're not really walking through any confrontation or learning. And also too, like those things that happen in those relationships, like I feel like I felt that a lot this year is like my relationships are growing and they're deepening. But without those little confrontations, without those like little areas for growth, you don't get deeper.
Don't get deeper. We got to go deep, baby. You can't get super without getting deep. You know what I'm saying? You got to hit a nerve.
Oh my God, I love you. You're great.
It's a story you can tell, and it's a moment because I just got over an awakening that I was living in most of my life because I created my identity out of it. And I realize now that doesn't work. That's a lie you told yourself to survive and be who you are, but that's not actually true, and it's not helping you no more. So the universe is like, you can't be that person. You can't do those things. It won't work for you because it's not serving you.
Yeah.
And so I had to look within and say, you know what? It sucks. It hurts. But guess what? I got the information. I have more awareness, and I can grow. So I think self-help is so important for just life. And everybody's not into it. Everybody doesn't want to grow. And I also believe it's not everybody's purpose to grow, right? Like everyone's here to know the truth about certain things. Everyone is not here to make gazillions of dollars. Like that's not everybody's purpose. Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes social media overwhelms everyone that they have to look this way. They have to do this thing. That by the way, I saw you put something on your story 2 weeks ago, and you said, and it made it makes sense, and I understand it because I've been in it and I'm in it as well. It's like, I don't want none of you guys looking at my life or the things I do as that it's easy and it's the best. It's times when I'm stuck, I'm confused, I don't know what to do. It's frustrating, it's overwhelming. Yes, that is real stuff right there, right? Because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, and you have all these companies, you know, multitasking, you have different emotions, different mind swings, mood swings, different conversations with yourself. You might be in fear, self-doubt, you might question, but you got to figure the shit out.
Yeah, you
But it's like
do.
people,
And
but it's not sunshine and rainbows. It's tough
no.
at times. So can you speak on that for the people who are listening, who will listen, who are watching, that don't take entrepreneurship or what you do or how you do for granted, because it's not a game. It's real
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to give like a little bit of context to like all of that too. And even when
Yeah.
I did post that on my story. So I've been, again, like I've been in social media since like, I think it was like 2012, 2013. I started with Red Bull, and I'll never forget, like Facebook was around, Instagram was like just starting to like rise up. Like it was still that like photographer platform. And I remember them being like, let's go take photos of our athletes, like our badass Red Bull athletes, and like you guys post them to your Instagram and you make it look cool, and like everyone's going to want to like join our next Red Bull event because like you're showcasing it. So when we talk about social media, and I want to share that story because when we talk about social media, it is such a showcasing platform. And like more specifically, like when we talk about like Instagram and we talk about like Facebook or things like that, these platforms have literally been designed for you to showcase a piece of your life. Okay. Now, we've gone through this huge trend where it's like we've seen like the curated feeds, we've seen like the beautiful influencers, like we've seen, you know, all this pretty, beautiful stuff that's just very like almost unattainable. And there is such a, you know, I think we're moving more into this trend. And I even like, I got to champion TikTok here for a second because I feel like TikTok has given such realness and authenticity to people's lives. And even with the trends, like people sharing openly about like their own mental health or childhood traumas or things they went through and like how they came out on the other side. But before all that, before that became a trend, we were only seeing like this highlight reel of like how good your life is and like only showcasing the positive parts of your life. And so when I was working on promoting Get Super, like I'm promoting myself, like I'm promoting my businesses, I'm promoting all of my like achievements, anything that I've done well, I'm putting it out there into the world so that we can make a solid platform for Get Super to launch off of. And that's just a promotional marketing strategy that I've put in for myself. However, did I cry? Did I go through multiple breakdowns? Did I have moments where like, I mean, just complete falling apart? Absolutely. In those moments, in those super, super intimate moments, like it is very difficult to showcase all of that. And I mean, unless I'm like hosting a reality TV show, like you're not going to see that. And most people aren't going to share that. So when I was getting all this like, good job, oh my God, you're incredible, I was like, literally like this is anyone can do this, like you can do this if you put your mind to it, but also know that this huge long journey that's taken me a year and a half to launch this brand and for me to show up and show all these achievements over the last 9 years has been so much sacrifice, has been me not being a normal looking human being for a lot of the time. Like my boyfriend has literally had to just hold me during some of those moments. And that's the reality of it. It's that social media is not real. It is a tool for us to showcase, you know, a platform, what we're doing, our jobs, what we're doing great. And there is such a large percentage of that that's not showing the behind the scenes that I think people actually are needing to see. And I would love to see that change in social.
They need to know it. Like literally, like my manager's birthday was last night, so I got in late. And I'm like, oh shit, I have a podcast tomorrow. I had a client at 7 a.m. I woke up at like 6 o'clock feeling like, shit, I don't want to do this today. I'm tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I'm like, come on, bro, get up. So I did my prayer, my meditation, affirmation. I'm like, let me do this, let me do that. Oh, let me put the story out before I go to my client, 7 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Then on my way back from my client, I had a crucial conversation with someone close to me about some real stuff, letting go and moving on and all these things. And it's like, and then cool, hey, I'm here. I'm on interview. Like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, real talk. Like it's real out here in the field. No matter what we show, what we see. I always say people go off what they see and not what they know. And every day is not sunshine and rainbows. Every day I'm not super. I want to get super. No matter what. I got coffee. Girl, can you put the link in the bio? Let me know.
Seriously, man, you need to do a commercial for us.
It's time for us to use our platforms to let people know, like, listen, you, me, us, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. We fuck up. We forget. We cry. We're miserable. We feel stuck. I was in a analysis 3 weeks ago. I was just stuck like Chuck. I didn't know what to do. Here I am. I got a book, and I'm still stuck, right? Yeah. So it's like, why do we go through that? Why are we in those phases so we can get to the next level? You need those downtimes. You need those challenges. You need those setbacks, those hardships, so you can come back with a different approach and intentions, and you can appreciate the moments when you wasn't feeling great. Because somebody else is going to go through it, and you're going to know exactly what to give them, or at least how you can help them. So I'm just happy the work you do and how you do it. I do want to talk about, because everything is energy, right? Mm-hmm. Everything is energy. And you said something about being aware of what you put in your body. And I'm a person of, you do what you choose, as you are, who you are, where you are. But when it comes to food, right? Food has energy, right? Yeah. Whether it's processed food, organic food, it has energy. And I realized, like, in February of this year, I had stopped eating meat, right? I was like, I'm going to just go on a pescatarian diet for like 30 days. I wanted to lose some weight. Oh, I feel great. Then from there, I went on the vegan for like 21 days. I didn't have the energy I needed, so I just went back to the fish, but I wasn't no longer eating meat. And I realized my body changed and how I felt changed. And so I'm not saying that I would never eat meat again. I'm not a meat eater or whatever. But what I'm saying is that certain foods, depending on your body type and your blood type, affects and triggers, like you said, what you think, how you feel, and what you do. So for you, can you speak on, because you talked about the CBD, but what else in your life that you realize when you eat it or you have some of it, it triggers an emotion or a thought in your body or in your mind?
Yeah. So I have like a couple, I mean, like these are things that I've noticed. Like number one, there's a lot. Like I would say caffeine has been something where I never used to think that it affected me until I was like stopped. I slowed down. I was aware of what I was putting in my body, and it totally affected me. Same thing with like, alcohol. Alcohol can be a huge trigger. It can, yes. And it can totally affect you. Like honestly, for multiple days, not just like one day, not just one hangover or anything like that. Now on the flip side, I've also seen like some pretty incredible adaptogens that have helped me personally. Number one, I love chaga. I think chaga is absolutely incredible for giving you a boost of energy. I love it.
What is chaga? I've never heard of that.
It's I don't know too much about it. I just started kind of like researching its benefits, but I've been actually incorporating it into my coffee and my morning routine, and I really love it. Again, it just helps me feel a little bit more energized. It actually helps like clear like a lot of like brain fog that I feel like sometimes I'll have. I also love obviously ashwagandha, reishi.
All these terminologies. I need to put a brother on.
They're incredible. I mean, yeah, just go to your local health food store. Yeah. Ask them about the adaptogens. I mean, there's some pretty incredible brands that have really like shared all the knowledge and benefits behind them. Like Four Sigmatic does a really great job. Moon Juice does another really good job. So does I'm forgetting one other brand, and I love them so much, and I can't believe I'm forgetting their name. But anyway, there's a lot to, I mean, like that's something too that I feel like is becoming more and more a little bit like mainstream, is actually the use of mushrooms and like how they're like good for you. And again, these aren't your psychoactive mushroom trips. Yeah. These are your beneficial chill ones.
There's some book about that, how it enhances your being and gives you weight, and it actually saves some people from passing away earlier as well. That doctors prescribe.
Wow.
I've read. It's a guy named Michael Pollard or Poland. He has a book about psychedelics and how it's the new medicine, how it can help people. And it's funny because people over the years will ask me, "It's like, are you on acids or do you take mushrooms?" I'm like, "No." Like, why? It's like, man, tapped in sometimes. That's you thinking you just be.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no,
oh,
I know. I was telling my dad about mushrooms the other day, and he was like, "What are you talking about taking mushrooms?" And I was like, "No, no, not that kind of mushroom." But yeah, I would say those have also been something that have really helped me. I actually have a girlfriend. She owns a matcha cafe in San Diego, and
yeah.
it's Holy Matcha, and she started incorporating adaptogens into her matcha, and her whole story is beautiful. She went through kind of a health journey as well that led her to drinking matcha, and now she actively incorporates adaptogens into a lot of her drinks. So you can go into the cafe and order a matcha and add reishi, ashwagandha, lion's mane, a bunch of different ones, and it's really cool.
You tapped in over there. She's elevating. She's vibrating high. She's really super.
Oh yeah, baby.
I was reading something. Shouts out to Kelsey. She's great, by the way. Shouts out to Scout Agency.
Oh.
You have a quote, and help me if I'm saying it incorrectly. I think it goes, "If you want to go up, if you want to go up, you can dream big," or something like that. There, there's a saying. Hold on, let me see. What does it say?
It was probably one of my captions. I love that you're quoting me right now, though. You're making me feel so like special.
Yeah, because it's like stuff like that. It makes me think. Like, what did you say? Oh, you call up when you're ready to dream big. What does that really mean? That's dope. I love that. You call up when you're ready to dream big. You know? What is that?
I mean, quite honestly, like I think like again, like I'll touch into my story here. Like I kind of like my like story from like when I was younger is that I constantly felt like I wasn't enough. It was never enough. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't clever enough. I didn't have enough experience. I didn't have like it just always constantly felt like I was receiving feedback of just not being enough to be something or to amount to something.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about dreaming big, like rising up to it, like honestly, like not giving a care anymore about what anyone thinks and just going for it, you elevate yourself and you get yourself up to that point of just being like, these are my dreams. I am going to run with it. I'm not going to let anyone stop me. And, it's either going to crash and burn or I'm going to make it. And one of the ways it's going to happen. And eventually I'm going to get there. And so that's kind of like, that's also too just kind of my story coming up again. But that was something that I dealt with like growing up, was just like always feeling like I was never enough or I was never something that was going to amount to something. And so finally one day it's like you throw the book out the window and you're like, I really don't give a shit anymore. Like I'm going to do what I want to do because this is my dream and this is what I feel led to do. And there's really nothing that's going to come in my way.
That's beautiful because I believe that. And like when I was in my stuck, stagnant state, I forgot all those things, right? Because I was like, hold on, how did I get in this place? It's because I believed and I wasn't letting anything, and I'm not going to let anything stop me, not even myself. I believe it was in me that I believe that I can do what I feel is right, whether it works or not. It's my belief system, and your belief turns into your knowing. I just know. How do you know? I know. I don't even have a logical answer for you. I know it's going to work out. I know this is going to happen. I know Get Super is going to be a great brand. I know Whitney is going to do the best she could do. I know. How you know? You haven't even, I don't need to have that experience. I know from the gut, from my intuition, from my soul. And when you can live in that, they call it the law of assumption or belief system, nothing can stop you. But because it's the greatest enemy is our mind, right? And that's why the books we read, the music we listen to, the conversations we have, the people we connect to is so vital to our existence because it affects how we think, feel, and be. And I just think, it's important to have that dream big mentality. It's important to get super. It's important to believe in yourself, to grow yourself. And it's important also to go through shit so you can understand what it takes, right?
Totally. And I want to tap on something there too. Like you mentioned like intuition and like for a lot of entrepreneurs, or even not entrepreneurs, even people that, are career driven, or, have their side hustles or whatever they're doing, take the biggest like hurdle is to learn to trust that voice in your head, or that intuition, or that knowing, because that is the biggest hurdle that I've ever seen in any entrepreneur, is that, okay, like, I know I'm led to do this. I know I'm going to go for it, but do I trust myself enough to know that, like, I got it? Like, I got this. Like, I know this is right. I know in my bones, and trusting that and having that faith that is a mindset shift. And that is something too, like, again, like, I've even been working on that in myself, and holding my own self, and holding my own trust in my intuition, and knowing, like, if I feel this, if I know in my bones this is right, this is what I'm meant to do, I need to go for it.
Yeah, and it's important, because what else? Because I was telling a friend earlier, like, what are we living for if we ain't trying to be our best self? And we're going to have challenges, right?
Yeah.
But what's the point of living if you're not growing?
Yeah.
Right? Be hit with defeat and failure and setbacks, but that knowing, that doesn't change.
Sure.
Okay, cool. We're going to figure that out. We're going to figure that out. And I feel like for you as an individual, you just always knew, because I had a friend tell me this, and it's just interesting. Think about it. You might know, you might not know. There's a difference between believing versus knowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you believe something, your beliefs can be limiting, and they also can be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But your no, there's no uncertainty in the knowing. It's like, I just know. It's like, how do you know? You just know, but you say, I believe. It's a different frequency that comes out, right? I believe I can. No, I know I'm going to make it. It's a different frequency. I know this. So I just think it's hard to explain, because you have to have some type of belief. I feel like belief is a prerequisite for knowing. And then once you know, you just grow and you glow. And sometimes your ego can get in the way. Mm-hmm. But when you have that knowing in you, and you create products like Get Super, right?
Absolutely.
You create, digital marketing campaigns and activations for other companies, and they pay you because based on whatever experience you have, you just know. It's like, I know I can do this. It's like, how? Watch me.
Sure. I love that. That's another really good reminder, Eric. I think that's spot on.
And it's like, you have a platform, I have a platform, you matter, I matter, we all matter. But it's like, it's all about what you believe and what you tell yourself. Mm-hmm. That internal dialogue, right? Sure. Like, I don't know you, but sometimes when I'm doing something new for the first time and I'm afraid, it's like, it's weird, because I know I have to do it, even though I don't feel like I know I gotta. I remember when I took my swimming lessons, I know I gotta get in the deep end at some point. But I know I'm going to learn something totally different about life, and that's what I did. And sometimes those decisions and those chances you take, it's not for that moment, it's for something else. It's sort of, you can be here talking and telling your story, sharing your story, and being an example of, I always say, I'm an example of what to do and what not to do. Mm-hmm. Quick question. Are you aware of human design?
I am.
Oh, you are? So
yes. I'm very base level, but I know enough.
What are you? What are you? Generator, projector, manifester?
I'm a manifest generator.
Oh, interesting. I don't know the difference between a manifest and generator, but I am a generator. So they say as generators, we have to go off what we feel, and then we move, right?
Yes.
So when I do something, I'm on it. Even if it doesn't make sense, it's like, what's your plan for that? It's like, I don't know. I got to do this.
Yeah.
And
you probably, so I did this during a mastermind, and I don't remember everything that she did, like my chart. But I feel like you're the same way as me, where there's power in I forget the line, but it's the vocal line. So when you go to speak, you actually speak things into like existence. And a lot of people that are manifest generators that have this also have podcasts and also are speakers.
And because I think a lot of my power, because I'm a 3-6 martyr, comes from my sacral chakra, right? That's pleasure, like the joy. And so if my heart is not in it, but I don't feel it, I can't do it. But that's why I get all my energy from. Like, even coming to this class today, I felt like I meditated. I'm like, I prayed. I'm like, I feel great. Let's get super. Like, let's talk. Let's connect. doing here? But I just love this. So let's talk about being a serial entrepreneur and having multiple businesses. How do you manage having multiple businesses? And what is your schedule and what is your balance? How do you manage that?
It's not always balanced. Like right now I'm sitting in a season of my life where, I just spent the last probably 6 months being really out of balance. Like something like working like, 10 to 12-hour days, which for me is a lot. I need a lot of rest. I need a lot of self-care. And so doing that, working 7 days a week, 10 to 12-hour days, just to make sure that, our clients on Eckis marketing are well taken care of, my team's well taken care of, Get Super is, building a strong foundation for launch. It's been really out of balance. However, I also believe that like as a serial entrepreneur, there will always be seasons like this, and that there will always be times where your nose is on the grindstone, and that's okay because it's not forever. And it's a period of sacrifice. And that sacrifice always comes back to you. And that's another mindset.
Hold up. My spirit jump. Hold the F up. What? I never heard that. Your sacrifice come back to you?
I think so. I think whatever.
But hold on. That's powerful. How did you even get to that?
A lot of thinking, a lot of meditating.
Powerful.
I love it.
How can you not want to sacrifice for the greater good?
Yeah.
Because if you have that, and that's what I'm always aware of, when a person can come up with that type of epiphany and thought and information, they're onto something. Your sacrifice will always, you got to quote that. You got to tag, you got to put that on a shirt. No.
I love it.
Beautiful. It's so true.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, it is. Like no, I mean, honestly, like we were talking about, I was talking with my two girlfriends. We actually did a really cool podcast interview about the masculine and feminine energy inside of business. And one of the things that we were chatting through was, the scarcity mindset. And anytime you go to launch a new business, it's really hard. You're putting up all these financial means, you're putting up all this time, you're essentially like betting on the flop. Like, I hope this is going to work. Like, I need this to work in order to not only, get everything that I put in back, but also too, for it to become something. And she was talking to me and she's like, I truly believe that whatever you put in flows back to you. And that's the feminine energy, is sitting in a receptive receiving mode. And so, yes. And so when I talk about this sacrifice, or when I talk about launching multiple businesses, yes, is it a dance? And like, do you need to prioritize your time? And there's a whole science behind being a serial entrepreneur, 1000%. But also too, there is this flow that if you feel led through that knowing, if you feel led through that energy or your intuition, whatever you put in, it will be coming back to you. And that, I mean, again, like that is my own personal belief spiritually that, I was led to Get Super, not only because it saved me and it helped me, but because I think quite honestly, I was led to this place in order to help other people and to create a brand that really disrupted, the wellness community and the instant beverage community in a way where we can actually be helping people through on-the-go convenience. So that, I mean, we can talk about serial entrepreneur all day. I mean, it is a dance, but I'm here for it, and it's something that just comes to me.
That's beautiful. You got to write a book now.
You're so sweet, Eric.
So where can we get the product? Where's the product? You got something that you can show us? Like, how do we need to get some?
No, we got like sold out. We sold so much of it at my launch party. I don't even know if I have a stick pack at my house right now. But yes, you can find Get Super. Obviously follow us on social. So it's spelled GETSUPR. And then you can find us on getsuper.com. The one thing that we are currently selling right now are sample packs. So if you're like, look, I don't want to buy a box of 10 stick packs. I don't know if I'm going to like hemp infused coffee. No problem. Try our sample pack. It comes with our signature instant coffee and our hemp infused instant coffee. And then if you want to follow me, here our podcast. I'm the host of Under the Influence podcast. And you can follow me on my on my social channel, which is just Whitney Eckis.
Whitney Eckis. Eckis or Eckins?
Eckis. So it's pronounced like a wet kiss. Like that's like the best way to like think about it.
Hey, kiss that's wet, but it's Eckis.
There you go. There you go.
I love it. Is there anything else you want to share or leave before we sign off? I think this interview was so inspirational in so many ways. You spoke very vulnerably about your life and your setbacks, but also your power. And I just think women, in general, I have 3 sisters, and I always would like to see them not that they don't believe in themselves, but believe in themselves more, that they can be whatever they want. And sometimes it's hard being a woman, when it comes to certain things, because over the years I'm more aware of what women been dealing with, what they go through, and how they're impacted, right? Because you talk about the feminine and masculine, but I think someone like you're like the trailblazer, right? You're the leader, you're the philanthropist, you're the entrepreneur, you're the one, like, I'm the manifestor generator, but I'm gonna show you how I manifest. I'm gonna show you how to generate. It might not be easy and feel easy, but I'm gonna show you that you can do it and you have what it takes, because I didn't think I had what it took, and I'm doing it. And I have a brand and brands, and I'm helping. So join me, get in my army, right? Like, I feel like you just have a bunch of women just following you, like, let's go, let's get super. Because get super means so many things, right? Get super in your finance, get super in your health, get super in your mindset, get super in the bedroom, get super in your fitness. Like, that can be a whole brand outside of coffee,
Oh yeah.
But you're
we plan on it.
people need to know that, and I think you're so valuable to the world and the things you do. So congratulations on everything. I'm happy, and it's just like, this is my first time talking to you. It's just, you can feel it. You can feel it. You can sense it, and you're doing great things. You'll continue to do great things no matter what you go through. So I just say stay on it. But yeah, I mean, I talk so much. Just any words of encouragement for the listeners, because I'm inspired.
Oh, I love it. Honestly, yeah, keep going. Whatever you got going on, keep walking through it. I think my biggest takeaway is that you are so much more capable than you believe, and then, that anything that you believe or what people tell you, you are more capable than you will ever realize. And I know if that is just the theme of my life, and if I could share that with you guys and inspire you guys today, I hope you take it.
Take it, receiving it. That's how you get super. You're more than capable. You're more than enough. Whitney Eckis, guys. Listen, follow, get the samples, get the coffee, reach out. She also has a marketing agency, bro. So if you need some marketing, I might need some marketing.
Come see us.
But yeah, so thanks again. This was beautiful. This podcast. This will be on my page. This interview on live, but I'll have it up on a podcast sooner than later. Thank you. Continue to bless people with your energy and intellect. This has been amazing.
Great. Thanks, Eric. Thank you. Bye bye, guys.
Bye. Be safe. Let's see. Well, that was beautiful. Don't you agree? Thank you, Whitney. Get Super Instant Coffee out now. Go get that. Follow her on all her social channels. That's a representation of empowerment from a woman's space, and I like it. She's doing it. So, you guys, I'm signing off. You be great. Be safe. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your emotional health, your spiritual health, physical health, and financial health too. Take care of you. Every day won't be the best, but make it the best. Do your best. Be your best, and just let go sometimes. Let go and just be. That's it. It's miracle season. I'm out. Peace.